Do you struggle to grow fruits in cool coastal climates? Do you really want to grow some like hot loving fruits like eggplants or melons, but it just never works? Well, today I'm going to show you how to bend your zone through the careful picking of hybrids. Right here next to me, I have Eggplant Orient Express from Johnny's. This eggplant can set fruit at lower temperatures. It's an Asian eggplant type, so it has these long cylindrical fruits, and you want to treat it with full sun and good soil. Next to it, I'm experimenting with the new one from Uprising Seeds. It's called Diamond, and it has already started to set some fruit, so I'm happy I'm going to get some fruit off of it this year. So I've tried to grow honeydews and watermelons, and they always fail. Well, I finally found a melon that'll work. It's a Korean melon, and it's Golden Giant from Johnny's. This melon is a small melon, but they ripen really quickly, and they can take cool conditions really well. I give them full sun and regular water and as much heat as you can, and you will get so many of these little delicious yellow gems. All right, so bell peppers are notorious for just how much heat they love. Well, here I'm growing them in part sun in my cool coastal climate. So you just have to find the right varieties. Look at this fruit set here. They got so many fruits coming. So the varieties I recommend for the cool coastal climates would be King of the North, Ace, Ace is Taki, which is a sport of it, and finally Mountaineer. These varieties do great, and you get a ton of bell peppers. So for hot peppers, I am growing so many varieties this year. I think I'm growing like 20 different types. I mean, Clicky's really going to have to get into the hot sauce business for me. But let me show you some of my favorites. I have here is a Hungarian wax pepper. This is a great one for just frying up in a little olive oil and putting a little salt on. It's beautiful. Next to it, I have the the Czech black pepper. This one's like a black jalapeno, but it's a little smoky. Behind it, or laying over it, is this ají rico. These guys are a Caribbean pepper, and they just taste so fruity and hot. It's a really fun combination. Above that is this ají amarillo pepper, which makes this great yellow, bright yellow paste, and it's very spicy. This is a earlier variety, so it has a little smaller fruits, but it ensures I actually get some. And then next to it, my probably favorite hot pepper is this Bulgarian carrot pepper hiding down in here. This one has the same heat intensity as a jalapeno, but it's neon orange. So citrus are known for needing a lot of heat in a really long season. Like right here, I'm experimenting with a kumquat, but right now I'm not sure if that experiment's going well. But one that is going great is my oranges. So right here in front of me, I have Trevita orange. This is the one variety that doesn't need heat to ripen. So you'll still get beautiful navel oranges, and they'll be sweet. If you're liking this channel, please hit like and subscribe. I'm Gardener Koo, and every comment and like helps. So also for citrus that I'm growing that bend the rules a little, we have a kaffir lime back here, which is just a great herb you use in Thai food. You use the leaves instead of the fruit. Okay, so over here in my citrus pepper herb garden, I have the best lime. There is a correct answer. This is Beers lime. It fruits year-round, and it gets these beautifully sweet, limey limes. Most limes will work in a coastal climate, but this one is for sure will work, and it fruits year-round, unlike all the other ones. If you're one of the people who likes grapefruit, I would recommend the variety Oro Blanco. That one does really well in coastal climates. Oh, and I forgot, a quick tip on limes is they don't actually ripen green. That's a weird government rule. They actually ripen yellow, and they're so much sweeter and flavorful when you pick them at that stage. Okay, so the next one I'm going to try is an experiment, and it's manihot or yuca. It's that big brown fibrous root you can find at the Mexican grocery stores, and it has a flavor similar to potatoes. So I have seen these growing everywhere from Nicaragua to Madagascar. And let me tell you, they need heat. So I'm going to plant it here against my south-facing wall so it'll get as much sun as possible, as well as the reflected heat from the house. These guys can get tall, up to 20 feet, but if you're growing them for food, you can usually harvest them at about 6 feet tall, and then just plant one back and then keep the cycle going. Okay, so this next one is a great landscape plant as well as a great fruiting plant, and that would be this banana Goldfinger. So Goldfinger has these beautiful fruits that taste like ice cream. And I know you may be thinking, I can't grow a banana, I don't have enough heat. Well, there are 4 different types of bananas. There's 4 genetic groups. There's A, B, B. If you go to Monterey Bay's website and do a deep dive on their research, they can find the banana for you. But anyways, I've gotten Goldfinger to fruit once, and I got little 1-inch fruit, but they were so sweet and so good. The reason I didn't get very big fruit is because I'm not really growing this for fruit. If you're growing bananas for fruit, you want to stick to a single stem, and then they'll put all of their energy into that fruit. Bananas also have an edible flower. For my final one, I have Papaya babaco, also known as the mountain papaya. They get these big tropical leaves and they just look so good in a landscape. I don't really like papaya, but supposedly it has a really great flavor, and you get these long 5 star-edged fruits. You want to give papayas full sun and regular soil. Now, papayas aren't actually trees, they're perennials, so they have a hollow stem, so they will die down to the ground and come back up from the roots. I'm Gardner Koo, and go out there and bend some zones with some fun new varieties.